Okay, so it is around 7:30 p.m. and I wanted to make a very serious video about identity, the person you choose to become, why becoming your best version is genuinely so important, and why building the best identity is probably one of the biggest investments, if not the biggest investment you can make into yourself. Because your identity, the person that chooses to move forward every single day from today on, just that version you choose to build, is what's going to dictate every last thing that comes into your life from today on. So that's why truly building your best version is like the most important thing you can do. Because if you truly know that you built your best version, or at least he is constantly getting better and better and better, and you aren't just saying that, and you just are proving yourself right with your actions, then I promise you, you should have 100% faith, 100% belief that there's no possible way you could fail if you truly know you are your best version. Who you become decides every last thing that happens next in your life. Before you try to build a company, before you try to build results, before you try to build success, before you try to build a relationship, before you try to build anything that is great, you have to become the person who can handle it, and most importantly, the person who can even achieve it. Most people try to build companies with no patience, try to build success before they even build themselves. They try to build something great without first becoming great, and that's why they collapse. And that's why focusing on your identity and just truly focusing on becoming your best version before you try to build anything, build any results, it'll probably be one of the biggest investments in yourself, if not the biggest investment in yourself, because the man you decide to build and the person you choose to become, starting today, is what's going to dictate every last thing that happens in your life from today on. If you know 100%ly you are your best version, and you're not just saying this, and you constantly in the present, you are constantly working and working and working and doing every last thing you need to do, you will have 100% faith and belief that you will succeed and do every last thing you said you're going to do. Because if you truly know you're your best version, then there is nothing that ever could possibly stand in your way. Because you built someone that has patience, you built someone that is consistent, you built someone that has tons of discipline, you built someone that just is practically unshakable. There is nothing that can knock you down. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how much pressure you get, no matter how hard times get, no matter how uncertain things are, you were 100%ly faithful that you were going to make every last thing you're building work. And that's why it is just so important. And I'm taking this from a really great entrepreneur, but he once said, if you have 100% faith and belief, there is literally no need to fail, no need for failure. And him even being able to say that sentence just proves the person he became, and just the man he truly built before he built any success. And that person, when they started their journey, they did every last thing they said they were going to do, and achieved so great that it's like genuinely insane. Because when you truly build your best version, everything else just becomes totally irrelevant to you. It doesn't matter what society says. If they say, you'll get burnt out if you work every day. If they say, you have to fail once before, you can succeed. You will totally prove them wrong just by living by your own truths and just building your own best version and letting everything else be irrelevant to you. When you can build your best version, I truly believe there is no need for you to fail. If you truly know, and you're truly being honest with you, that you truly built your best version, and I 100% believe and have faith that there is no need for failure. You can do every last thing you said you can do. And that also comes from a really great entrepreneur that I just mentioned. That's just how I truly think, if you can truly just build your best version. And your identity isn't what you say. So, it isn't whether you say you're your best version or not. It's what you constantly tolerate. Be really honest with yourself. Are you truly your best version, or are you just saying so? Because you need to be constantly focused every last second in the present, what you're doing, and making sure every last thing you're doing is constantly getting you to where you need to get to in life. Because, and let's just say you did like 20 disciplined actions today, but you also did 20 undisciplined, you were just averaging out. And that's why it is genuinely so important to be constantly aware of what you're doing in the present. It's not built by your best moments, it's built by your consistent ones. Identity isn't just the good things you do, it is everything you do. If you take 15 disciplined actions today, but you also take 15 undisciplined actions, you get no credit. You are just averaging out. Your identity is the average of your daily behavior. And that's why the present moment genuinely matters so much, because your identity is not being built in the future. It is being built in the constant actions you are taking right now. Every action is either reinforcing the person you're trying to become or weakening them. There is no in between. There's no neutral. You are either going forward or you are just diluting yourself. And most importantly, if you want to build a powerful identity, you have to become radically honest with yourself. So stop measuring yourself by what you say you're going to do and start measuring yourself by what you are actually going to do. And if you truly want to just build your best version, your focus should not be, what's the best habits I can include in my life? What's all these things I can start doing? What can I start building? Your sole and most important thing you can do is just, remove things from your life. So, look around you. Look into your environment. Look at your friends. Do they fit anything you want to build? If they fit the person you want to build. If not, this might sound mean. This might sound, messed up. But if they do not fit what you want to build at all, cut them off in a second and just focus on removing every last bad habit you can think of. Just slowly remove all these bad things. It could be replacing your phone with a book for a day. It could be putting screen time on social apps. It could be, eventually deleting pointless apps. Delete every last pointless app that has nothing to do with what's going to get you to where you want to get to. Most importantly, just remove all the bad habits you possibly can think of. Just keep removing them. Once you finally remove everything and you constantly have no noise and you're fully in control of what happens from today on, and start focusing on adding every last good habit that you believe your best version has. Start just adding, great habits to your life that are truly just going to make you great. It could be going on a run, going to the gym, maybe start journaling, meditating, just waking up early and just truly focus on taking one disciplined action at a time. Truly focusing on what you can control in the present. Everything else is totally irrelevant. Even the bad music, just remove it all. Everything that is noise, just remove it all. And it all starts with the information you're going to get and the things that you need to do, and advice from really great people. So, stop looking up to celebrities, stop looking up to singers, just honestly invest your money into yourself. Go buy books. That's the best thing I would probably recommend, is just getting books and reading them. A lot of people will recommend you this book, that book online. There's certain books that you need to read in certain phases of your life. The most important books when trying to just build that best version, get your mind straight and truly build a great mind. There's tons of books like that in personal growth section. A really great person to look up to is Marcus Aurelius. I would recommend reading his book. But seriously, just look up to the people that made empires, and look at their philosophy. Look what they did, and look what they would talk about. And most importantly, stop looking up to celebrities. Stop looking up to singers, and start looking up to the people that built empires. By the ages of 20s. Truly focus on building that bulletproof mind, and everything else will follow. Yeah, I hope this video genuinely helped, and if it did, please feel free to subscribe, and even comment. I always truly appreciate comments. So yeah, and I'll see you on the next video.